Hello. Welcome to the Monch Hours podcast, where our mission is to appreciate all things anime and manga. I'm your host, Haunzzy, and I'm here with my co-host, Mr. J Grandmaster J, someone would call him. Of course.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
fuck
you know
with
what?
J-Day.
Let me try this here. This might. Yes, I'm a genius. Fix this. Grandmaster J, hello, welcome. Hey man, nice to see you. How's it going?
What's up?
What's up, dude?
Good to be back. It's been like a few weeks.
It's been a couple weeks. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. We've had some anime drop. Did I just say intro? Did I say what our mission is? I don't even remember.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
What is
hey everybody. Welcome to the podcast, the Monch Hours podcast, where our mission, everything we do on this podcast is just to appreciate anime and manga. Is that so difficult? Can we just enjoy the little things in life, the entertainment? Does everything you don't like have to be called mid? No. It doesn't. You know, Jay, sometimes you wake up and you're like, man, I just really like to watch my shows in peace. And not have to deal with the shitstorm that's on Twitter. But you don't have that issue, do you? No, you don't.
Liberating.
Must be
Free,
nice.
dude.
I'm fucking sludging through the trenches of social media, staying up to date with the anime news, just promoting us. And I'm not even promoting. I'm just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, I salute
It's a
you
battlefield
for
out
being
there. How does that song go? It's a battlefield, a battlefield. Is that Kelly Clarkson? I don't know. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome. This episode, we are talking about the anime we've been watching for October, which, of course, number one slot from the top ropes, Chainsaw Man and their boy Denji, Aki Power, Makima, you know the drill. In addition, some other shows such as Gundam Witch of Mercury and, of course, Bleach. So stay tuned, stay chilled, crack a cold one with your boys, and just cue the intro.
From the deepest reaches of space, the boys are back in town.
Thank you so much, best friend.
And we've got an all-new lineup.
From now on, you're mine.
But more importantly, we have a show to run.
Welcome to the Monch Hours podcast.
Let's hear it for the queen.
All right, and we're back. Jay, you know what we say, man. New week, new brew. What you got, foo?
We just riffing today. I like it.
I'm riffing, man. And my brain is like, it's a point where I had such a freaking rough work week. And it's just like, I'm just there, dude. I'm just chilling, baby.
It's Friday, dude, so time to drink up. It's not a new brew. It's a nice classic Lagunitas.
Oh, can't go wrong with Lagunitas. No, sir.
You cannot. Let's hear what you got. You probably got some. I got a biohop brew from Cosmo Brewing. It's a local brew.
It's a local craft brewery. Yeah, you know I keep it classy. I keep it local. No, man. Today I got this really crisp, refreshing, straight from the filter, ice cold water, baby. Let's go. I gotta get hydrated, man. I gotta get hydrated.
I mean, I think this is probably like 90% water, so.
I mean, it's true. It is a good amount of water. No, I just drank too much crap today. I just had coffee all day, and then I had a soda, which I don't really drink, so that tells you one thing. And I got home and I'm like, I feel kind of bad, and I'm like, I need water, so I'm forcing myself to drink water before I have a beer. So I have this here. So cheers to staying hydrated, everybody. If you're watching right now and you haven't had water today, go get some water. We'll wait. Go get some water. Yeah, take care of yourself.
Fill up that cup.
Fill up that cup. Come
Treat
on.
yourself.
Stay hydrated. You know, they say the secret of clear skin is to stay hydrated.
Do they say that?
Yeah, it's like a running joke where it's like, how does your skin so clear? Oh, I just drink water. You know, it's like, nah, bitch. You do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Don't gatekeep your skin techniques.
Yeah.
You gotta scrub. You gotta moisturize. You gotta tone. You know,
Loofah.
it's like a scrub. Then you get a toner. Then you get a moisturizer. Maybe you're exfoliating before that. Who knows?
And we get beauty tips by Haunzzy.
Beauty tips by Haunzzy. I got a face routine. You got a face routine? I got a face routine.
No.
I got a
No.
face routine. Who's got a
I got
face
time
routine?
for-
Yeah, you guys.
I wish I had time for a face routine.
If you're watching live right now, comment on your face routine. Let me know. Yes, we're live on YouTube and Twitch. If you're not with us live, tell me your face routine. You know, hit us up on our social media. Monch Hours, Monch_hours, or Haunzzy, Haunzzy. You might see me up in with a little bit of a T in the name since October. I put a T in the name so it's Haunts, you know, just to make sense. Ooh, spooky ooky.
Our boy's clever over here.
You know, I got a little wordplay. I got a little cleverness to me. I got a little pizzazz. A little in my summer shoes.
Here he goes. This guy.
Oh man, dude. I'm on like this TikTok trend where like they it's like a very, you know, remember like back in the day, what are those, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, like the younger gens are like rummaging through thrifts and like throwing on these like shoes that you would imagine are like in the days of when TVs were in black and white. And it's like so the camera goes on it and then this very old-timey song plays and it's like in my summer shoes. I just find it's so heartfelt. It's just a very innocent meme. But anyways,
You got so much internet, but you need less internet.
I fucking work all day on internet, man. I can't. I got my office, and that's my 8 to 5 is internet, and then that's why I walk. That's why when I'm on my breaks and on my on my breaks I walk, and on my lunch I'm actually reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the original. Speaking of which,
The OG science
Yeah.
fiction right there.
yeah, OG. It's a good old October Halloween science fiction. I think we are all aware of the depiction of Frankenstein in modern form being incorrect as, oh, the monster's not named Frankenstein, the doctor is Frankenstein, and that's Frankenstein's monster. Yeah, I think we all can agree to that. However, the lies just only dig deeper. Not only was the name wrong, but Frankenstein isn't a slumbering fool who can't speak and go, ah. My man is he met his creator and he's retelling a story of how he found himself a family in a cottage and he was learning English from him. He's speaking in this very eloquent, sophisticated manner, such as like, I quote, "May man be my creator and treat me with sympathy, or thy wretchedness the maw of wretchedness will be inflicted upon your humanly brethren." That's the kind of word Frankenstein's talking.
Yeah, he's poetic.
He
I
is
think,
poetic.
I think it's pretty amazing. Damn, we're just going classic literature with the Monch boys. But I think it's pretty amazing that Mary Shelley was like, what, 18 when she wrote that too?
Was she? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure she was like still a teenager. Which is wild. What are we doing with our life?
What
Not
the
writing
heck?
Classic silent science fiction.
I did not know that. What
I'm pretty sure. You might want to fact check me, but
Might want to fact check me. Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that. I mean, classic literature is great. It's definitely been a favorite of mine. I mean, it's just good stuff, you know? Sometimes you want to peel back the onion and see what it all began. Kind of like Shrek.
Oh, there he goes. That's a real classic right there.
Hey,
I mean, I
dude.
guess it does pull from all the classics.
Do you see? Yeah, see, now you get what I'm saying. Now you get what I'm saying. But anyways, so yeah, I've been staying with that and reading that on my lunch just to get away from like screens and whatnot. But anyways, let's get into the show. As everyone has been, I'm sure everyone has been aware that Chainsaw Man has been airing. We're officially 2 episodes in. And we're reaching freaking critical mass, man. As we have all, you've been with the Monch Hours podcast, we could all agree that we knew this day was coming, and it's arrived.
It's beautiful.
It's freaking beautiful. Animation is so freaking amazing. The animation is so amazing. People thought parts of episode 1 were CG, which they weren't, or at least whatever they were complaining about. People always complain. There's nothing new, but episode 1 was a fucking great introduction to the world of Denji and Pochita.
Mm-hmm. It's brutal. It's a brutal world. There's a lot that doesn't, when you're reading it, you can gloss over if you don't just sit in the panels.
Mm-hmm.
That I was really just reminded of when watching it. I was like, oh shit, this show is kind of not for the faint of heart when you
Uncensored.
really when you're really in it. You're like, oh, I can't just skim over stuff that's unsettling and my mind doesn't want to process.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of that in the animation. I mean, in that first episode where Denji's. Oh, are we just gonna go into spoilers?
I mean, at this point, we're like we're 2 weeks. I mean, the new episode is happening in 2 days, so if you haven't, at this point, you're not going to. You're right. If you haven't, you're not going to at this point. So we're sticking to anime only. We're also not going to spoil anything from the manga, but the warning is, I guess, if you haven't caught up with Chainsaw Man at this point, then sayonara, suckers. Sucks to suck.
But yeah, no, I was about to speak on the scene where you just see Denji had died and he's just torn to pieces.
Yeah.
He's thrown in the trash, and you're like, Jesus.
Dude, that was brutal. That particular scene seemed to just dredge so slowly along. It was long. It was brutal. The voice acting was shaketh me to my core. And I was watching that with my girlfriend, who hasn't read the manga. And she was like, "Oh my god," She was like, "Is this how it was?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's one thing to read it, and this is the same thing I will say. It's one thing to read a manga. It's one thing to read and imagine the voices, imagine the sounds taking place. But then it's a totally different thing when you really get the sound. And shout out to the sound design, because that scene, the chainsaws, in the manga, you're like, whoosh, it's kind of like my brain just goes to slash, right? Like whoosh, and maybe you get that chainsaw like slicing and dicing, but in the show, in the anime, you really see that thing just take its time ripping through somebody. It rips, it shreds, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's brutal. It's freaking metal.
Yeah. And something that I guess that I didn't even realize just reading it is this a small thing, but Denji notes that these chainsaws are cutting him too.
Yes.
So he has a loss of blood. I was like, oh shit, I guess I might have forgotten that information, but
no, I don't think he forgot about it. He comes up with a solution fairly soon, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it becomes like not a thing.
Oh, okay. I really can't remember what the solution was either.
Yeah, it's probably like next episode. So I guess that is a spoiler, but it's really not a big. It's like nothing. It's like
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's not. He already talked about it. Pochita, is dying and drinks Denji's blood to recover. So Denji just
Gotcha. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Actually, now I remember.
Yeah, Denji just drinks the
Alright.
blood of
Yeah,
who's
okay.
fucking killing.
Yeah, that's fucked up too.
It's
It
fucking
was fucked up.
this Chainsaw
It was
Man,
good.
dude. And it's one thing to hear, you know, the studio, Mappa, everyone behind that project talking about how much passion, how much they love the series in particular, and that's why they're going so hard on it. And to see it presented, to finally get it, and you know, just shaking your head and you're going, God damn, here we are. Here we fucking are, man.
Something that I thought was really cool just about the project and just the love that the creators have for it is the mangaka actually has a hands-on role in the production of the show too. I guess like across storyboarding and just the whole creation process. They are touching on it, which I don't know how common that is in this world, but that just to me shows that they really want the project done right, like both sides. They don't want this to be a fuck up.
Yeah, Fujimoto's hands on, and I mean, everyone has heard us talk about him since very early on. I think after the first one shot, I mean, just in general, you know, and I want to read Fire Punch, which is another one of Fujimoto's work that came prior to Chainsaw Man. But I heard that one can get pretty dark, so maybe I'll read that during winter time when the seasons are right. But like Jay mentioned, the having Fujimoto on board and you can't get a more honest depiction, a more honest telling of the series that we love so much. And it really goes down across the board, right? I know that when we're talking about sound design, we're talking about everything, how brutal it is. You know, we're hearing Makima, we're hearing Denji, we're hearing Makima, and I know there was some friction on a Makima's voice when it first was announced and heard. But it's, you know, it's perfect, I think, and I don't know that it's a little to speak on the matter. I think to go more in depth as to the reasoning why I think it's great might be lead to spoiler territory, but I would imagine that people who are complaining about her voice have already read the manga, and that's why they're complaining about it. Because if you haven't, then why would you complain about the voice? But I think it's freaking perfect, and that's all I'll say on that. I don't know. Do you think? Do you agree?
I don't have any complaints.
Denji, woof.
Yeah, I'm in on the voices. I mean, I think I mentioned it before, but watching with subs, like the voices don't affect me as much because
Right.
I'm more focused on reading and just not understanding the language. It's also just sounds like another. I mean, it definitely is audio cues, but it's not as a big factor for me as it is for some.
Mm-hmm. We got in that first episode too. I mean, episode 2 is Power, which Power's voice is fucking Power, man. You want to talk about voice acting? Power just came off at 100 right from the freaking start of the race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man. There's so much going on. Like, I'm just trying to think back about these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And just the fact that this season is so stacked that
I know.
completely forgot about the entrance of Power.
Dude, how do you forget the entrance of Power, bro?
I know. I'm ashamed of
I show a
myself.
power.
Oh, I'm not proud of myself.
Just the energy that's being brought alongside that voice is perfect. And then, I mean, I think before we talk about anything else, let's talk about that intro. How can we not talk about that intro? That opening intro for Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool intro, and I'm not sure if you looked at like
I have.
people breaking down all references. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know, that's just a lot of like nods towards Hollywood, which is sweet. And I wouldn't have picked up on it just watching. I just thought it was a bunch of singular vignettes, but then seeing side by sides, I was like, oh shit.
I did it the first time I watched it, like the first one, because it goes like the first scene's like Reservoir Dogs. I didn't catch anything until it was Kishibe pointing the gun. I'm like, well, it's like Pulp Fiction. And then after, I got on social media, I'm like, oh fuck, that was Pulp Fiction. And so it was like, it was what is the Big Lebowski, Reservoir Dogs, some scary shows, some movies, more that I can't think of at the moment, but immaculate. We actually got a really cool homage to Fujimoto's other works. He's been doing this explosion thing where his characters, it was first depicted, and maybe it was depicted in Fire Punch, I don't remember it in Chainsaw Man, but like a massive explosion happens, and it's the classic like cool guy walking away from explosion without looking at it, but it's at a particular angle, and we first saw it in Look Back with Eri, which is one of Fujimoto's one shots, and then there was it? Is there Look Back or Goodbye Eri? I think whichever one was Eri was in. And then we got the similar shot, the exact same angle, everything, in Chainsaw Man Part 2 manga at Yoru's first appearance, which is not really a spoiler because that's the main character, and she start off with that on that series. And then here we get it again, at least this time it's animated and it's with Power, so fuck yeah, man. And Power is my favorite character in Chainsaw Man, so I cannot complain.
That's a good choice. The wrong choice.
The wrong choice?
Puchito, bro.
Yeah. I mean, Puchito is the heart of the show.
Everybody needs a Puchito plushie. Come on.
Bro, get those true to size ones from Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
It's like a plushie, man. I don't know. I think it's pretty expensive though.
I could imagine.
Dude, I had to yeah, man. I considered it, but I opted for my tattoo. Ooh, not a Fuchito though, but of a panel that comes up. Chainsaw Man. You guys want to know about it? I'm so cool. But I'm excited. For. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, just wait for people at the bar to ask for your story behind your tattoos.
That hardly actually happens. People just, I think in this day and age, people just say badass tattoo, which I enjoy. Yeah. I mean, a lot, it's definitely transitioned. I have like almost a full sleeve of traditional pieces on my right hand, and I don't think I get that. I can't remember the last time someone asked me, what do those tattoos mean?
Yeah, that age has passed. There was like a little bit, like a small period in time where you felt like you had to have a reason to
get a
tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's just like, oh no, I just like it.
Yeah, I think and straight up there's these style of tattoos which are popular right now called ignorant tattoos. And it's just, it's badly, it's well drawn bad tattoos, if that makes sense. Like think of like a raccoon wearing a cowboy hat, and like it's like that's fucking awesome, right? There's like no meaning. I mean, my tattoos have meaning. I love to have the one that Chainsaw Man, 'cause it's like I just really fucking love that. And when we get to that point in the show, I'll talk more about it. But it's freaking sick.
It is. I second that.
I'm excited for the rest of the cast to show up.
Yeah, I kind of when you've read and when you're manga and anime, it's kind of cool watching these opening episodes where it's the cast building. It's like it's coming, but you're just excited to see like the characters in a new medium. And it's different than say you're just anime only, where these are your first introductions. Like you don't know what any of these people are about. But it brings a new dynamic when you've already built this relationship, and you're like, it's like seeing old friends again.
It is like seeing old friends, but it's also walking on a very fine line, because there's inclinations for certain things that you might pick up on that, of course, anime only, so we always have to have that on the back of our mind, like saying something. Whoa, walking it back. Like, cause like, yeah, I can't say anything. Because it's just innuation. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But I really enjoyed even Aki and Denji's first meetup and the little brawl in the alleyway. I was just looking at them two, going, "Oh, look at my boys! Look at my boys! Look at these nut shots at Aki's face and pure."
Yeah.
Oh, I felt that. I think we all felt that. The boys in the chat felt that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then
something about like normally if that was if someone did that, went like a dude went for nut shots, you're like, this motherfucker. But with Genji, you're like, nah, bro, you do that.
He's just so nonchalant. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking. When I fight, man, I always go for the nuts. Like, okay, well,
yeah,
more power to you, Denji.
His character is, I don't even know how to describe him. Innocent in a adolescent way, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he's going through like puberty. He's changing. His motivation that he decides to do what he does is just boobs. Literally just his boobs. And like just going for a nut shot. You're like, oh, this dude is just a kid. A kid all around.
He's a kid, man. He's a kid who didn't really grow up with other kids, so he's got to grow. And this is what people are always so quick to jump on this. And I had a similar thing with, I mean, other shows that involve people learning and growing. It's like, you guys understand that Denji's like a 16, right? Like he's, at least right now, he's a teenager, and he's going and he's experiencing these things for the first time. Just like let the show play, man. Let the show play.
Yeah. And if you were to actually probably psychologically analyze it, like he had his childhood stolen from him.
Right.
Like he's now finally free from this insurmountable debt. He was selling organs and shit to try to pay off debt.
Eating a slice of bread, splitting it for dinner with Pochita.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, when you look at him, you're like, dude, if that was anyone else, you'd be like, oh, woe is me. But he handles it like a champ.
Yeah, man. He's fucking Denji, bro. And in that aspect, too, you know, it's interesting in the scene where Aki and Denji respond to that fiend call. I was fully, you know, Aki, maybe someone fully expecting Denji to go chainsaw, but Denji's been devil hunting, and it took no effort whatsoever. Just one quick slash with his axe, and he's killed a fiend. And it's easy to forget that once Denji goes chainsaw, because, you know, rip and tear. Denji was very proficient prior to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's how he was surviving. He was a 16-year-old devil hunter.
Yeah. Oh man, how do I? All I will say is that if you guys, oh man, I can't. No, I guess it's not really spoiler.
Let me try to navigate it, bro.
Let me try to navigate this. It's the scene where it's the scene. Okay, it's the scene where Makima is talking to Aki and Denji, and there's a painting in the background. This painting is hyper detailed. It's a painting. It's a depiction of a famous painting. It's hanging in Makima's office. I'm just saying, you know, when studios animate stuff with hyper detail, check it out, man.
What's up with the? How come every time something goes good, by the way, it's a little tangent, is there always like just rumors that spout up? I think it was earlier this week, people, like the internet was saying that Chainsaw Man is canceled.
Oh yeah, what was that? That was so stupid.
To the point that our friend Mark even texted me, he was like, dude, Chainsaw Man was canceled? I was like, There's no way. This is literally the biggest anime right now.
Is Mark watching that?
No, I told him to watch it. He was
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, I saw it on Hulu, but it's like I didn't know what it was." I was like, "Fucking watch it, bro."
Bro, if Mark
But yeah,
watches it, we know we're on the. Yeah, we've hit critical mass on that. I mean, it's eventual. For the. Yeah, I got my. You know what? I got my friend from work to watch it.
yeah,
It's on Hulu. Yeah,
we're not unique because if you look at
I know.
Crunchyroll, the he had like
It's sad to lose that. It's. I was thinking about it. It's a little sad to lose it. It's not in a. It's not in a hipster kind of way where it's like, oh, I'm gatekeeping, but reading Chainsaw Man and experiencing it, the highs and lows in manga with the fandom and the community is not something that community was pretty special. As someone who's read other mangas that aren't animes or developing animes at the moment, having that, sharing that, getting the part 2, then or getting the announcement of the anime, then in addition to that, a part 2 of the manga and kind of this explosion, and having, you know, a subreddit or communities where it was just manga, right? So like the spoilers weren't there. People have already are at the same place you're at, understanding where the series is at. There's no tiptoeing. There's no. You're just there, right? You're just riffing. You're just throwing ideas. You're just talking about stuff. If you're not talking about it, you're just reading about it, and then it's kind of just not there anymore. That you'll never get that back. You'll never get that back. It's interesting. It's a little bit. It's a little bit. It's a little bittersweetness.
Well, bro, we've spent half an hour on.
I don't give a shit. It's Chainsaw Man. We spent half an hour talking about Chainsaw Man. Well, we've fucking been hyping it up for our fucking the whole life of the podcast.
There's like 10 anime that I must watch this season.
Anyways, okay. Every episode of Chainsaw Man, I think, is gonna have a different ending. So this week is Maximum the Hormone, which is gonna be fucking sick. So let's go, Chainsaw Man. Let's go, Denji. Let's go, Makima. Let's go, Aki. Let's go. Bow. Transition. This you.
What are we going to now? My boy over here hasn't watched Bleach, so this guy's slacking.
The
Number one
boy
Bleach fan in
hasn't
the
watched
building.
Bleach. Narrated by the boy. I have not watched Bleach. No, I haven't.
I don't know what that was, but I did not like it.
What are you talking about? I'm speaking here. I'm speaking. Yes, I haven't watched Bleach. Fucking the Bleach fan, one of the biggest Bleach fans, hasn't watched Bleach yet. You want to know why? You want to know why I haven't watched Bleach? Fucking audience, chat, Monch Mob. Because I've been fighting my home smart TV to watch this shit on Disney Plus, and apparently it's on Disney Plus everywhere but the fucking United States. And so I've been sitting in the trenches, racking my brain trying to find it, thinking it's because of the parental controls. In reality, it's not. It's only on Hulu in the United States.
Oh, dude, you could just texted me. I would have been like, yeah, dude, it's Google. Just use Google. It'll tell you the answer.
I did. That's the thing. And you know, I see it's airing on Disney Plus. I go, okay. Then it says Disney Plus in everywhere the U.S. I didn't get to the last part.
Oh, that's called clickbait, dude.
I was apparently staring at Aizen's Bankai. Unfortunately, his no, not his Bankai. His what is it when it's not released?
Yeah, I don't know.
Zanpakuto. See, I know.
You sure? You sure now?
Ask yourself this: how long have you been staring at my Zanpakuto? Oh, dude, Aizen, man. Talk about villains, bro. Look how I talk about villains, right?
So I'll dive into Bleach.
Talk about how I'm slowly turning away the attention from Jay. Don't ask yourself when. Ask yourself how long I've been taking you away from me not watching Bleach.
I don't know what he's doing, guys, but let's keep this moving.
So what do you think, man? As someone who's watched it, I've read it, you've watched it. What are you thinking?
So I'm really enjoying it. Like I've discussed in like past episodes, I haven't finished the original series, and like jumping into this, it really honestly like reignited like my desire to finally finish. This is Bleach OG, but and I'm going to, but it's gonna be I think hard just jumping back to that older art style because dude, modern animation just hits different.
You texted me that, and I was I didn't even. It never crossed my mind that was going to be the case.
Yeah, it's pretty beautiful, and I honestly like I don't know anything about art, so I don't know what they're doing now that's different, or if it's just the modernization and techniques and just this methods that they're using, and it might be just also technology being able to use. From what I understand, my limited knowledge, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of like drawing is done on like tablets now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, CGI, but they're drawing on tablets, and I don't know if that makes a difference. It's being able to get like a different precision, color, just saturation, whatever it is, like. This new art for this series is beautiful, and I guess you can also compare it to like other shows. You look at like Dragon Ball, and then now look at like Dragon Ball Super. How there's been like a jump in just the quality of animation. Mm-hmm. Even like series that never ended, like One Piece. Like if you look at first episodes of that, and then look at what's coming out now, you're like, Jesus, this is the same show. So,
right.
Yeah, this is a modernization of just animation. You can really just almost put like a timestamp on when some of these arcs were taking place. But just jumping into the show, like it is I forgot how brutal Bleach is, and like thinking back on it, like I probably shouldn't have because there's, and like I said, I haven't finished the OG series, but it was a shonen part of the big three.
Big three, man. And
yeah. When I think of those, like I'm not thinking of like major consequences for characters.
Mm-hmm.
But Bleach, now when I'm thinking about it, like you're like, oh shit, like people do die. You have. And I can't remember what arc it was, maybe like the invasion arc, where it kicks off the whole Aizen story.
Yeah.
And it like starts and that lieutenant is just like crucified, just pinned to the wall. And you're like, oh shit, are they dead?
That's why I'm excited for the hell. That's why I'm excited for hell.
Yeah.
There's actually people down there because people die.
They'll come back, apparently. That is retcon everything.
No. Nah, Kubo is too big of a player to do that.
But yeah, no, this season, series, whatever, it kind of denotes differently just because it has that subtitle. So I don't know if it's proper to call it like a different series. Bleach. What is it?
1,000-Year Blood War?
Yeah. We're just having that subtitle. But it's hitting right off the start, I don't want to spoil it, but you start out with some hardcore scenes that you're like, oh shit, and second episode it continues that pace. And
I mean, you can. At this point, I think if we maintain a week ahead, a week buffer between, an embargo, right? Like no spoil. Okay, like so. For example, the first episode's been over a week since this aired. I think that is enough time for people that we can talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, well, so all right. You see a death of a major character in this first
Yeah.
episode, and it really sets the pace, especially like for me, who it's been like years since I've watched Bleach, and I'm like, oh shit, like that dude's dead,
Right.
and
Sets the
so
tone. Shit's
it really
serious.
like you're like, who the fuck are these villains? And I mean, you quickly find out, but you're like, oh, they're not playing around. This isn't like ah, man, the Quincy's that we know.
Yeah, I would actually. You mentioned Mark earlier. I think I would like to have Mark come on if he's down because he's a big Bleach fan too. I mean, this is the guy who had Byakuya, right? It was Byakuya, right?
Yeah.
Byakuya Kuchiki on his fucking deck box. It wasn't like a custom case. My guy actually printed out paper, like he on like dial-up internet on Word. Paper, printed it out and cut it, taped it to his deck box, man. That guy was committed. He didn't tape it, he like taped over it so it was laminate.
Like laminated.
That's good. He's a fan, man. He's a fan.
Buy that.
Big time fan.
But yeah, I think I asked him if he had watched it. I think he might be waiting for the dub.
That's a good point. I think you're right.
But yeah, no, it's I'm enjoying it, and I'm definitely gonna go back and finish the series finally.
Wow. As in,
After,
you're gonna read
after I
Fullbring.
finish Hunter x Hunter.
We're gonna watch Fullbring. I don't think I've ever watched Fullbring. I wonder if you've ever read it. I think it might be nice to watch it. The Fullbring arc, which is the arc that takes place prior to Thousand Year Blood War, and the time gap is it got criticism early on, but it's very powerful. It's very powerful for Ichigo in general, understanding himself, becoming and understanding he's more than just a Soul Reaper. At least that's kind of one of my major takeaways from it. And great character, great development. The cast is awesome. One of the villains in that has one of my favorite Bankais in general, or just not Bankai, because the Fullbring is all about not Bankai. His power, and he's like a minor villain. He shows up for a chapter or two, but it's like Jackpot. And what it does is, as he's fighting somebody, right, he'll like punch this person, and it's like no damage. Punch, 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 no damage, no damage. But then one punch will like have the potential to kill you, and that's his Jackpot. His power is based off like RNG. I thought that was so cool because it's a way to introduce a character, right? Like, oh, how come this guy's so fucking OP? Well, it's just chance. It's just like one shot can be any shot. It's gonna kill you, destroy your Bankai, who knows what. And I really love that. It's almost like you can also bank your bad luck until you get that jackpot. Like it's gonna come up. There's a way to manipulate the slots, which you do see. We do see it in, and this is a minor spoiler for JJK fans in the manga. We do see that a similar ability come up. And we know that Gege Akatumi, I should really look up how to pronounce his name. The mangaka of JJK is heavily inspired by Bleach and Taikubo. So it'd be interesting if that ever comes up. But obviously the one in JJK is extremely fleshed out because that's what he does best. But yeah, Fullbring is a great arc. I'm excited to watch it. Now I'm going to watch it on Hulu. But there's going into this and knowing how iconic it's gonna be, man.
You're gonna enjoy it, bro.
I'm gonna.
You gotta like the way you look. Guarantee it.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
There it is.
There it is, bro. There it is. Yeah, man. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, how could I not? But I'm not unique in this one either.
Nah.
Chainsaw Man, good. Bleach.
I mean,
good.
Chainsaw Man's just overshadowing everything. I think Chainsaw Man and Spy Family. Actually, you know what? That's incorrect. I did see a stat today that Bleach was actually #1 rated for the week. Above
Really?
Chainsaw Man. Yeah, above Chainsaw Man. I think it was Bleach, Spy Family, then Chainsaw Man, or Bleach, Chainsaw Man, then Spy Family.
That's the
Kubo
new big
Boys.
three right there.
We still got it, man. We still got it. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Oh, actually, I wanted to ask: is that iconic theme playing? It's like, whenever there's spiritual pressure. How does it go? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean that sound is just. I like that sound. Whatever's happening with that sound.
This is a spiritual pressure sound. There's a spiritual pressure I haven't felt before.
You're right. The show does have like very unique sounds. Like there's sounds when I want to say when like the villain. What are the? Oh God, I can't.
The hollows, Arankars,
The hollows
Espada.
are showing up, like that noise when they are appearing.
Yeah. It's like a
Yeah,
flamenco.
that
And when the Espada come up, it's like a flamenco, like, like guitar.
Yeah, that sound. The sound design on that show is really unique for each different like scenario, and they stick with it. I like that.
Yeah.
It kind of gives you that cue, like, oh shit, this is who's gonna.
My
what we're gonna be
favorite,
dealing with now.
one of my favorite sounds that happens that this person will get their ass beat as soon as he does it is fucking Renji, roar, Sabimaru, and he immediately gets his fucking face pounded. I swear, I don't think I've seen a guy win that fight every time, no matter who he says that. Roar, Sabimaru.
Oh, dude, he's trying though, dude.
He's trying.
Gets
Renji,
his
you know
fur
what?
coat and-
Yeah. Say what you want about Renji, but my boy has never ever faltered.
He doesn't die.
His
He's
heart,
still
his
around.
heart, dude. His heart roars just like Sabimaru.
But did you die?
You know what's interesting is that while Bleach had some really shitty fillers, had a good filler that I was fond of, and it was the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc, where like they became sentient, and it was cool. I like that one. I think it was a good little twist. Just little shot out there, back on memory lane.
I never got to that one. So
I remember that I ordered a playmat when we played cards, and I ordered a playmat off this website that JR and Mark ordered like 2 weeks before I did. They got their stuff, and then when I did it, like the business closed and they zoomed out. The reason I'm saying that is because I got pissed. I ended up just drawing my own mat, and it was Bleach and his hollow form. And it was a black mat, so I did it in reverse because the hollow was like the inner shadow of one's true soul, and it worked out perfectly. I was so cool, man. I was so ahead of my time.
yeah, and I think you gave me that mat, bro.
I did give you that mat. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you should bring it up. Show it. Show the class.
I
Show and
didn't
tell.
find it.
I gave you that. I gave you my heart.
But all right, so
Gundam Witch
What
of
shows
Mercury,
have you
man.
watched?
Gundam Witch of Mercury. That's one that I'm watching religiously. Love it, love it, love it. So there's actually a prologue that shows up prior to the show. So if you count the prologue, there's 4 episodes, and the prologue is about 20 minutes. But I'll tell you what, it should be a class. It should be a case study on how to move a story, develop characters for the viewers to become emotionally attached within that 20-minute time span. Beautifully done, beautifully written, and you feel for these characters in that. And it's very dark. It's very Gundam. People it's funny watching people who haven't seen Gundam really at all, or they have the notion of, oh, big robot, cool. And then they go like, oh, what? People are getting assassinated in Gundam? It's essentially Game of Thrones with mechs. That's Gundam in a nutshell. Unless you're watching G Gundam, which is one of my favorite series. But for the most part, in Gundam universes, there's a very war is bad. I've mentioned this in the podcast plenty of times. War is bad. No one wins in war, and there's these assassination attempts. There's backstabbing attempts. Political gameplay, and the prologue sets the tone immediately. But you get to episode 1, and we see our main character, Soleta, who people are calling has a tanuki face, which is Rakuten in Japanese. Super cute. She gets introduced as this very shy but very courageous woman, young girl, and there's this quote that gets passed around from her that her mom gave to her. She said, you can run away and gain 1, and she breaks it down, or you can move forward and gain 2. Essentially, it's like you can run away and be safe, and that's your +1. But if you stand strong and you don't cower and you're brave and you step forward, you gain confidence in yourself and you gain the victory, which is +2. And I'm probably saying it wrong, but essentially what it comes down to. It's pretty powerful in the moments that she uses it. But Aerial Gundam is the new Gundam. Phenomenal design, fantastic. The premise of it is she gets into an academy. Like there's a time skip, and this academy is all about like settling fights or trying to get something out of a duel. Like 2 Gundams go at it, or 2 mobile suits go at it. And how this universe interprets Gundam. It's like there's this gun format which is outlawed because it takes a toll on the person, but they're saying that because there's obviously political undertones to it. All in all, without like, you really have to watch to get that kind of jargon stuff. But one of the things opens up. Yeah, it's just fucking great, man. I highly suggest watching Gundam Witch of Mercury.
Yeah, it's really good, and you have, in my opinion, the prologue is a must-watch. And I'd be curious to like see people's takes if they were to like skip it.
Yeah.
I think like sometimes like you might see a prologue and you might be like, oh, like episode 0, I probably don't have to watch that. Come to the first episode.
Right.
But this one, you really do have to, because it's pretty hardcore. And if you were just jump into the series at episode 1, it wouldn't translate like the stakes that have been set up in that 0 episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets toned down in those first 3 episodes. It's not as brutal, but when I think about like that prologue, I'm like, oh no, this world is not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be easy.
No, definitely not. It was like it meant, like, yeah, we both said, it really sets the tone and the severity and risk involved that comes into this universe. And of course, we get the conflict that usually is within some Gundams. You know, the Earthnoids, Spaceoids, Spacians, Earthians. Are you from Mars? So we have that kind of, almost what I don't know what planetism maybe you'd call it. The Earth are treated worse than those of space, or vice versa.
Like nationalism, but
nationalism. Thank you. Yeah.
Planets. Yeah.
Great
Good
characters
stuff,
so far too.
I saw an article where the creator was saying that this series is set at a school because like younger generations consider Gundam for old people.
I did see that.
So they're like, oh, so we'll just set it at like a high school and touch in on the younger base. Like, there you go. I'm watching. I'm an old head.
Yeah, I mean, we are, I guess, and it's a great. I enjoy it, and there's been a lot of discourse about it, though. Definitely, the fandom. Gundam. It's so funny. Like people are saying, "Oh, you're not an OG fan of Gundam if you like this design, right?" And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Everyone's like, you're not an OG fan because look at all these fucking other. I mean, for God's sake, there's a Gundam called Tequila Gundam, guys, with the fucking sombrero and maracas. Okay, let's relax for a bit. Gundam has its moments. Okay, it's not super serious, super death mode all the time. Let's just relax, guys. Let's enjoy the show.
I've never watched it, but isn't their whole series built on the toys fighting?
Yeah, Gundam Build Fighters. Wow, it's like multiple. Yeah, relax, dude. Relax. And then I don't even know. Ever since I heard her nickname, I don't call her anything else. Mio Mio, who is like the daughter of the president of the Galactic fucking Federation or whatever you call it. Getting like now there's like these marriage ploys and whatnot, fiancés, and then you have. Oh man, it just throws these curveballs at you that are whimsically charming, if I were to put it. You can't help but smile when it happens.
Yeah. It's she's I don't know. Looking at her character, it's almost similar to Dingy, where she is this innocent as well,
Yeah.
and just going through. Because in a sense, like what gather, she had her childhood stolen from her, where it's the point where she hasn't had to even have these experiences that most kids her age have had, and she like lists them all out. She's like, I want to give a nickname to a best friend for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go on dates, like all this. She has like a whole laundry list of things that she wants to do, and
It's
throwing out
cute.
Mio Mio.
It's charming.
She's like, oh no, that was just my high on my list. Remember?
Yeah, she's crossing off the checkbox. One thing I'm looking forward to in this series is we have this presented to us multiple times, but there's like a corporation hierarchy, right? Whoever brings the most profit gets accepted into this list, or they get more power in their voting decisions. So, and the way, we see, I forget his name, Jerk or whatever, but the main guy that's been dueling Soletta, essentially, his family is part of a corporation. And so I'm super excited to see how it plays out when each corporation might have a mobile suit that is kind of that corporation specializes in a certain technology, right? So it's almost like, it reminds me of like Armored Core, an old game where different corps are battling for with their mechs for ranking and whatnot. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. That's for the potential or the future of Witch of Mercury. That's going to be one of my highlights, and I hope it does play out like I'm imagining, like I just spoke. But I don't know. Do you feel that same way?
Yeah, I can see that. It seemed like they're building to a point where like specialized technologies are like each corporation's forte.
Right.
And yeah, I'm curious to see what the whole issue with this Gundam technology really is. And I don't even know what universe this is. Is this a standalone
It's its own universe.
or-
It's its own universe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause I
Yeah,
was
it's its
like
own.
trying to piece it together. I was like, I don't even know the rules anymore of Gundam.
Yeah, somebody asked me the same question of the day, and I was like, dude, just pick a series and go with it. Like, other than Universal, which is Char, Ansible, Red Comet, and Honorable Ray, other than that, the other ones are pretty standalone within their own, subsection, like Iron Blooded Orphans. You watch 1 and 2, you're good. G Gundam, right? Just watch G Gundam. I think
Yeah.
this one is particularly, it has to be its own universe because Gundam is not typical now of like Gundaminium. It's more of like the technology Gund, so it's got to be its own thing. Which is cool. I just try to tell people, you like one of them, just watch it. Just choose the name, start with it, and watch it. You're not gonna. It's all over the place, so you're not gonna really gain much. Call
That's
yourself a
typically how I've
purist.
been anyway with
Yeah.
the series.
There's
I'm like,
Gundam
it's
Seed.
it's too much.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is, like, each one has beautiful mechs, man. More reason to build. Gundam Thunderbolt.
There we go.
The end cards on this, I'm just looking at the art that shows up at the end of the, in the credits. God, it's so freaking beautiful.
Something about giant robots.
Yeah, giant robots. Aerial Gundam, man. What do you think about the design of Aerial Gundam?
Which one is that?
The main one. Soletta's.
It. I like it. I don't know, with them with Gundams I always like melee users though.
But I mean, overall,
So,
like look,
like the look. I don't know, that's part of it for me though. Like the weapon systems is what draws me. So like Death Scythe,
yeah,
which is one of my favorites. Just his whole weapon. This is literally a scythe. So I don't know, like I think it looks cool. But like I said, like the weapon systems is like the main focus for me with Gundams.
yeah.
That's really what draws me and makes something my favorite. And I think that the whole, like, I don't even know what you call that tech. It's like almost like a drone technology that's utilizing.
The Gund?
Where it
Yeah,
has,
the
like,
gun format, the
multiple
drones coming out, and like
Yeah.
leaking.
I mean, I think that's cool. I think that's a new take on something I haven't seen in any of the other series.
I think
And the
Sazabi
way,
kind of had a similar. Well, we see that technology, but maybe not as advanced as Ariel's.
yeah. And I mean, I don't have any complaints with it. I think it's a cool looking machine. There's very few that I haven't Gundams that I haven't liked.
I remember, yeah, Death Scythe designs, they popped off, bro. I remember I had Death Scythe as a kid. We had like a laundry line where clothes would dry in the backyard, and I put him like in between it, and I was launching him in the sky because his wings, and he launched into the tree, and I never got him down. So he's up there somewhere in Valencia Street, California, just hanging out. But I think back to Ariel, a trend, if you consider Iron Blooded Orphans is the most recent before Gundam Ariel, and yeah, I guess Gundam Build Fighters, but mainland ones, not revolved around Gunpla, is there's this like slimming of the Gundams becoming less boxy, which people are complaining about, and I understand it, but I think it does grow on you. It does grow on you, definitely. And for example, like if you look at Ariel Gundam, near the waistline, it's like this protruding chest and then a very slim waistline. I know people have complaints about it, and you see it in Gundam Barbados and in Vidar Gundam as well. But I don't know, man. I really enjoy it. I think it looks sick, man. I guess people were complaining, saying it was looking too much like a super robot design, but it's still Gundam to me. You still have the iconic V-wing at the top. It's Gundam. It just yells Gundam to me.
Yeah, I guess I don't think as deeply on things as some people.
No, I mean but
Gundam.
that's a good thing, right? It's like, I think that's what good design translates to. It's like, okay, good design is like, this has to speak to the people that don't think of, like, maybe are not knowledgeable as those that do have knowledge, or super, both sides of the fence there. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I could see like how some of these little differences might be annoying to people who for years like loved like certain designs, and now it's drifting away from something that they love about these series. But
it's a good point too. People think Gundams are old people, so dude, you guys are sounding like boomers, okay? Back in my day, Gundam was cool. Yeah, back and you had a gun and you shoot. That's what you guys are sounding like. Let the series evolve, man. It still looks like a Gundam. It looks fucking cool.
I mean, ultimately,
dude, I didn't hear these complaints when SD Gundam, the fucking little chibi Gundams were roaming around.
The way I look at it, like, ultimately they need to make changes if people are thinking that it's for old people, because I mean, they got to bring in new viewers, or else we won't get any Gundams at all. Right.
We got to sell the toys, man. I got to get these new kits, yo. The winter's coming, and it's almost a build season for me.
I bet you stacking boxes for.
It's hard. It's so hard not to. I actually sold a heavy arms, man. I sold my P Bandai heavy arms because I was like, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I'm that guy, period. But I can't be that guy anymore. Luckily, the boxes are so big that it like was an issue. But I have on my backlog, I have Wing Gundam, which I'm currently working on, and then I have Psycho Zaku from Thunderbolts, which I will do afterwards. And with every build I do, so I've done 3 builds. With every build I do, well, I did more than that, but like 3 major. Oh, no, I've done more than 3 actually, but 3 like time committed builds. I try to do something new. Like I try to learn a new skill. So major build 1, panel lining. Major build 2, custom painting. Major build 3, which is going to be this Wing Gundam. I'm going to try a diorama. I'm going to have it in my head, Wing Gundam from Endless Waltz, like coming down, like descending, right? And then what you do is you take Christmas lights, and then you kind of spray it with an adhesive, and then you take cotton, like kind of picked apart cotton, and put it around it, and maybe spray some of it black, and it looks like thunderclouds. So he's like descending into thunderclouds, which I thought that'd be pretty cool.
Dope.
Yeah, so that's my thought on that, and I want to send it out to essentially as a gift to the guy who bought it for me. Just to kind of it's like, dude, thanks for buying this. You know, a lot of my fun for this comes in like building it, so it's kind of like returning the favor. But even prior to that, like prior to this Gundam, I did Neon Genesis Evangelion Unit 02, which was just more of the same. It was a much more simple build. But for Psycho Zaku, what I want to do is incorporate like lights in the. I want to do like a light where the Zaku's at. You know, the iconic Zaku eye, the big red. Anyways, yes. We're pushing time. I know Jake kept me along as best as he could, but I think we'll wrap it up. I think we'll wrap it up at that point.
Yeah. Still got a lot of shows to talk about, but that's for next time.
We'll get it on the next week, man. Next week, we only have to talk about one episode of Chainsaw Man. That should cut time is short. But thank you guys for watching the Monch Hours podcast. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you, spend this time with Jordan, who's been here with me this whole time, and just maintain this connection and this brotherhood of just talking about stuff we love, and hopefully we come across as someone you can just talk with naturally, and you're not afraid to talk to it, because that was the whole point of the podcast starting with, is just having a conversation, enjoying what was kind of lost, right? Like back in the day, you can talk to somebody, don't have to worry about trying to impress them. So that's what we do. We're just trying to appreciate all things anime, manga. Make sure you check us out on our YouTube, make sure you check us out on our Twitch. Make sure you check us out on actually all podcast platforms where it really matters, because that's where that's our home base. But if you want to talk with us, hit me up. Check out our socials. We got a Discord. Just search up Haunzzy or Monch Hours on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll get you in there so you can jump in and chat with me and Jay.
Yeah, for sure. Love
all right, yo.
you guys. Appreciate
Have a good one.
listening.
Take care.
We out.